actually like molesting children, right? Because I think that person would be dangerous to have on the server. But I mean somebody who has like an attraction to children, because
You
I
don't think
consider
that would be
pedophilia
dangerous
to
to
be
have on?
potentially. But I think that pedophilia is like it's a it's a paraphilia, right? So it's a mental illness, basically. We consider it to be a mental illness, and these people don't choose to have it. They develop that way.
I've
Um,
got a
so
question for that.
I think it'd be very interesting to like. I mean, I know a couple of people who are pedophiles and who are going to like therapy and been going to therapy for years to try to like
So you're
they
saying you
try to shift
allow?
their, it's sort of like conversion therapy where they try to shift their attraction upwards over like years of therapy and like conditioning. It's very difficult and it's usually not successful,
So
right?
you'd allow
So I
pedophiles
think
in the
that's very
I
server?
interesting.
You'd allow
no,
pedophiles
I've
in
got
the
a
server?
question to that. No, you've already asked that question. I want to ask a question. If there was like, you was allowed to allow pedophiles within the server, would you get rid of the minors then to protect them, or would you keep the minors within the server also?
Yeah, no, I also allow them.
What kind of fucking conversation did I join?
Like the
Wait,
reality
so
is that most people
Server
who molest
politics.
children are not like pedophiles. Right?
wait,
They're like
so
sexual
so
opportunists.
Doobie, you would allow
So when I say
pedophiles?
pedophile, I mean somebody has a primary attraction to children, right? So when they are thinking about things they're attracted to, children are first, right? That's a pedophile. But if somebody is attracted to adult women primarily, but if the opportunity to fuck with a 15-year-old comes up, they're gonna do it. That person's just a sexual opportunist, and that's the majority of child molesters, right? So it's kind of
Still a lot of people in my
Wait,
business.
wait,
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 so
wait.
the
Hold
so
risk
on.
the risk
Doobie,
exists just
you
having
would
adults on the platform
wait.
in
Let me ask
general.
this real
Like I
quick.
don't know.
Let me ask this real quick. Doobie, you would allow pedophiles and minors in the server together?
Yeah,
Mate, you need
like the reality
Jesus,
is
man.
that up to like 5% of the male population has like pedophilic tendencies, right? And that's just like the pedophilic tendencies. I'm not talking about sexual opportunists. I'm sure
Bro,
more of the male
don't
population
project
is
your
sexual
fucking
opportunists
creepy tendencies onto the
who would
general
fuck a
populace.
15-year-old if they had the opportunity to, right?
Are you being dead
So
ass right now?
yeah, 100%.
You said who
Yeah,
wouldn't
don't
fuck a
project your creepy
15-year-old?
fetishes onto the whole general populace, my guy. Yeah,
Dude, yeah, like,
Do
this
it.
is
you're just saying,
justifying
None
that's
of
everyone's
5%.
guys.
Dude,
Keep it
that's
in
5%.
I can't hear
perspective.
you.
None of you guys own a giant server where everyone's expected to talk about different opinions and get along. He's, I'm sure, developed this position because of the fact that he runs a server like this. You're not
No,
like
that's not true.
him.
Wait, Doobie, how old are you?
So I can explain. So the server
I don't
exists the
want
way
to
that
get
it
to.
does because I have this principle, right? I believe that freedom of expression is extremely important. I think that being able to express these crazy ideas with people all over the planet and try to figure not just understand the ideas that people have and the lifestyles they have, but try to understand yourself through your discussions with other people with different perspectives. I think it's extremely important, right? And I don't agree with like drawing arbitrary lines about what you're allowed to talk about. I think it's silly.
So
Just
you
so
would
you
Because the
allow?
guys
reality
That's
know,
is,
kind. I mean,
even if they don't talk about these things publicly, they still have the thoughts,
So I
right?
have
So
a
just
question.
forcing them to have
So
the thoughts hidden away in their brain somewhere doesn't make those thoughts less dangerous. In fact, I think it makes it more dangerous.
so
dude,
with your concept in mind, let's say a pedophile and a minor were in the same VC, and the pedophile is openly describing anal sex and nutting inside of an anus. You would allow that?
all right. Full
It
metal.
depends
This
on
is
the
the last
context.
question you're going to ask in here about that. I'm sure Dewey would love to go into a room with you and talk about pedophilia all day long.
Yeah, so it depends on the context, right? So if they're trying to groom the child, no, I wouldn't allow that. I don't think, obviously, I wouldn't allow like someone to groom a child on the server or anywhere, right? But if they're talking about sex for some other reason, sure. I mean, we talk about sex all the time on the server, right?
In
With and
front of a
without
minor?
minors in the voice channels, or yeah,
not
all
with
the time.
not with minors.
Look at general chat right now. You'll find, I'm sure, tons of people posting stuff that's like suggestive or sexual with plenty of minors in the chat. I mean, just look at go on the internet, anywhere on the
Does
internet, go
that
on
make it
YouTube,
right
go
then?
on Instagram or TikTok or anywhere in society. You're gonna find sexual shit around
That doesn't,
minors.
but that doesn't
That's
make it
just how
right.
society
Full,
is.
Just because the
full metal.
loudest.
Before you just described anal sex out loud, you didn't stop and ask everyone's age. So
Yeah,
you're
but
as
I
guilty as
don't think there's
anybody.
any minors in here.
You didn't ask.
I'm actually a minor, bro.
I'm a Democrat, so my favorite music note is A minor. Does that count?
Oh God.
Yeah.
Dude, wait, Dooby, I have a
Oh,
question for you. Like, so you said 5% of the general population they're like that
Male
pedophilic
population.
male population has pedophilic tendencies, but like they're pretty spread out amongst like like around the world.
Hey, so the
You're like
guy,
having a you're having a constant you're having like a place where they can be in like at a rate where you wouldn't probably like meet them in real life.
Yeah, of
So
course. Just like I think trans people is a really good way to understand this, right? So trans people are like 2% of the population, I think, maybe a little
Trans
bit more
people
than
don't
that now.
exist.
Sure. But on Discord, they're fucking everywhere, it seems, right? Like on this server, we have a lot of trans people, right?
right,
So I think the internet itself is gonna be a place where, in platforms like this, is it just a place where people who are like don't feel comfortable on the real world or whatever, or feel like rejected by society, they're gonna end up on platforms like this.